Hey, what's up, everyone? It's me, Dre. Now, I want to talk about this video, and I know it's last week when this happened, but Steve Harvey met Donald Trump at Trump Tower, and they discussed fixing the inner city. Now, before I really give my take on Steve Harvey, I'm not going to really call him a coon. I'm extremely disappointed that he let himself be used, and again, I will touch base on that in a few moments. What I have a problem with is Donald Trump. Now, the supporters of Donald Trump insist that he's not a racist. Whenever you call Mexicans in general rapists, criminals, and drug dealers, only those who are privileged and racist would feel like that's not a racist comment. That's not a bigoted racist comment that generalizes an entire nation of people. Are there rapists, drug dealers, and criminals that cross the border? Absolutely. But when you look at the criminals, rapists, and drug dealers here stateside, you're not going to really see the impact. The crimes that are committed by those that cross illegally pale in comparison to what we as Americans do. But again, talking to racists about this is like trying to talk into a horse's ass crack, because they just don't fucking get it. But the reason for this video is this. Donald Trump trying to prove that he's not racist by having this black outreach program, by having real people that aren't really notable, but members of the black church, pastors who basically sold their soul not only for the sake of Christ. And I can go into a long story about that. I'm not religious, so I don't give a shit about the Bible or white people's Jesus. But you have these pastors that are cooning for the sake of trying to give support to Donald Trump. Then you have Kanye West being paraded around, being seen with Donald Trump. And of course, the media being there, they're snapping up photos. Kanye wanted to support Trump. To each his own. Fine. And now most recently, you have Steve Harvey. So you want someone to help fix the inner city, but you're not going to get a political figure. And someone had mentioned Michelle Alexander. I love Michelle Alexander. She's an outstanding writer. She wrote The New Jim Crow Law. Fantastic book. Someone that can give insight to help out the black community. But Donald Trump parading celebrities such as musicians and comedians like they have any political backing to sway the black community. That's the problem that I have with Donald Trump. And again, Kanye West and Steve Harvey allowing themselves to be paraded around for the sake of clickbait for social media and to snap photos for journalists. That's the problem that I have. And a lot of black people have come down hard on Steve Harvey. Many have called him a coon. And there's a lot behind that. Once again, I'm not going to go too deep into the name calling, but I am extremely disappointed by the fact that Steve Harvey would put himself in this position by saying Obama reached out to him and said, hey, I want you to try to work with Donald Trump. Why would Obama reach out to a comedian of all people when the black community is needing someone to reach out to them? The last thing we need is a fucking comedian to come in and try to talk sense. I know there's senseless violence, but across the board there's senseless violence amongst all communities. But it's a slap in the face to black people, because all of a sudden you have Donald Trump, who has gone on record several times by saying he wants to fix the inner city, as though we all live in Chicago or Detroit. I live in South Texas. I was born and raised in Maryland, a small city in southern Maryland. So to generalize black people by saying we're all lumped into the inner city, that just lets you know that there's a problem when it comes to the mindset of white people like Donald Trump. To fix the inner city, to fix black people as though there's some sort of factory recall on this. We are defective. That's what he's basically saying. That's an insult to the melanated nation. So again, Can I give my support to Donald Trump? Can I give Donald Trump a chance? Fuck no. And there's a lot of people that feel the same way. There's also a lot of black people that want to support Donald Trump by saying, well, what's the worst that he can do because Obama hasn't done anything for the black community? This is the nigga mentality that has us set back another 400 fucking years. The sight of seeing a black man in the Oval Office with the history of the presidency, some 250 plus years, give or take, you have the 44th president, a black man in the Oval Office running this country. For me, it's not about what Obama has done for the black community, because in my mind, a black man making it to the highest position, the most powerful position in the world, that's enough for me. In my lifetime, I'll be 46 on the 1st of February. So in my 46 years, essentially, I didn't think I was going to see this happen, but I did. So when I'm in my deathbed, because there's probably not going to be another black man to ever sit in the Oval Office, especially with the hate that was driven by white America against this black man, it's probably going to be a very long time. And the only time that you really are going to see a black man as a president is on the silver screen or the TV screen. It's just that simple. But Donald Trump and the subliminal message that some people just don't pick up on, what he's doing is trying to say, hey, I'm not racist because I'm reaching out to, I've got this black outreach program. If you have to have a black outreach program and you're a white person, you're fucking racist. You're just trying to cover it in the guise of deception. So again, I'm disappointed with Steve Harvey. I'm not going to call him a coon, but I'm highly, highly, highly pissed off at the fact that he put himself in this position, given the fact that he was so outspoken about Donald Trump's comments with the video from 2005 where he was talking about grabbing women by the genitalia, having his way with women whichever way he wants to. And with Steve Harvey, his morning show on TV, he has a large base of women for that show. So appealing to them by saying, hey, Donald Trump doesn't represent men and I oppose what he says and no woman should be treated like that, for the women to clap it up, and then for Steve Harvey to be seen with Donald Trump, it's a slap in the face for all the women that were supporting him. Anyway, I just want to give my take on this, and there's a lot of people that have posted videos, and I understand their concern. But if you like this video, hope that you like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook. Peace.